People who are anti-accessibility in video games live in their own world, not in the real world. Because I constantly see things like this, where people say video games are a business, and teams can't afford to put accessibility options in their games. And it's just not true. First of all, hi, I worked in the video game industry for 17 years. Accessibility options are usually not very expensive to put in. That is, if you plan for them from the game's start, and if you don't, that's your own damn fault. Let's look at some accessible games, shall we? Last of Us 2 had extensive accessibility options. 10 million units sold. That's more than most games out there. That's like upper echelon of sales. Street Fighter 6, more accessibility options than any Street Fighter ever before it, and most fighting games out there. Best-selling game in its franchise, biggest fighting game esport out there right now. Didn't impact profit. Only helped them make profit. Now, of course, Capcom and Naughty Dog, big name. So what about indie games? What about Celeste? Great accessibility options, and it's an indie game that sold fantastically. And it's still beloved by the hardcore crowd. It is never an excuse to not include accessibility options because you are just selling to the common denominator. There is no link between including accessibility options and having fewer sales. In fact, for the most part, we see the opposite. Including accessibility options increases sales pretty much across the board. So this whole you can't include accessibility options because it's a business is a false narrative. It's based on a bunch of assumptions that people make because they want to justify not including accessibility options. But there is no justification. It's good business sense. Accessibility options are often omitted because it's hard to put them in once the game is already created. They didn't plan for it from the beginning. And that, my friend, is called ableism. That is called not thinking about the disabled demographic. And I don't think that should be the case because I think that disabled people matter. In video games as much as in anything else.